All right, so let's look at the third student task statement called cruising. Around noon, a car was traveling negative 32 meters per second down a highway. At exactly noon, when the time was 0, the position of the car was 0 meters. It's asking us to complete the table. So I'm going to underline the velocity or the unit rate, which is negative 32 meters per second. So if you guys recall this from Unit 2, which is called the constant of proportionality, we multiply times each input or each x value in the table, which time is going to be my x value, and the position is going to be y. Excuse me, guys. So what I want to do is I want to multiply 32 or negative 32 times each value of time. So remember, when I multiply two negative numbers, my answer would be positive. So 10, and I'm going to write that down at the top, 10 times negative 32 or negative 10 is going to equal a positive 320. All right. So then the next one is going to be a negative 7, which I'm going to draw a line, negative 7 times negative 32, which is going to give me 224. Then negative 32 times negative 4, and that's going to give me 128. Then negative 1 times negative 32 is going to give me positive, or nope, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it is a positive number. I'm sorry. And positive 32 because both signs are negative. So now I have a positive 2, which 2 times negative 32 because the number is still negative. I'm sorry if I'm writing so small. It's going to give me a negative 64. 5 times negative 32 is going to give me negative 160. For 8, it's going to give me, and notice y'all, I'm keeping the same thing. I'm multiplying negative 32. Maybe that's better to write it this way. Keeping the same number, multiplying it, 256. And the last one is going to be negative 352 because I'm multiplying negative 32. Okay? So then it wants us to graph the relationship between the time and the car's position. So I'm looking for, time is x, y is m. I'm going to let the position be m, r, yes, okay? So when the time is negative 10, the position is 320. So I want to look for that. And if you guys know, let's see what the line is counting in. So it's 0 to 20, that's 25. 75 is that. Okay, I get it. Okay. So now this is going to be 325, which is going to be a little bit underneath right here. And this is 10. So if I had to draw a line going across, be right here. Okay. So then for 7, it's going to be 224, which will be this position right underneath that. I'm going to draw a line going to 7. Okay. So then for negative 4, it gives me 128, which that would be a little bit above here. Because remember, the number line is going in increments of 25. Okay. For negative 1 is negative 32, which would be a little bit above here. And this is just estimates, guys. All right. And then it went from positive, so it's going to positive, and it's going to be, this is 75, so it needs to be like kind of, because it's 64, it needs to be kind of like in between this. Kind of in between, kind of a little bit over. So right here. Okay, so then 160 for 5 will be, this is 25.75. This would be like a little bit closer to 50. And I need to look for 5. All right, so then for 8, It's going to be 256. And it's going to be closer to 50. 250, because remember it's in increments of 5. So, and that is for 8. So let me drop that down so I can remember. And that will fall right here. And then for 11, it'll be negative 352, which will be a little bit past that, but because the increments of 25, but it'll be way past that. Like way like down here somewhere. All right. So it says, what is the position of the car at 3 seconds? All right. So what I could do is I could draw a line to answer this. Help me answer it. So I'm gonna connect the dots. And I'm trying to connect it. Let me undo it. So here we go. There we go. And let me scroll up. And I'm sorry if my line's not perfect. Okay, let me see. It's not so perfect. And I probably did my points wrong. So let me check my points again. So 10 would be at 320, which 320 will be a little bit underneath here, but we're gonna just rock and roll with it. All right, so say what would be the position of the car at negative 3 seconds? All right, so what I could do is I drew my line, I could drop it, and then when I drop it, I see that's a little bit, it's close to 100, but it's not there, so I could put about 90 seconds. About, what's the position? About 90 meters. I'm sorry about that. About 90 meters. Okay. And then for question 4, it says, what's the position of the car at 6.5 seconds? So the position of the car at 6.5 seconds would be right here, which is in between. Okay, and it'll be about at 200. So we could put about 200 meters. Now that's with using the graph. If anything we could do, what we could do to check my answer is I could multiply that constant. So 3 times negative 3 times 32, negative 32 would be around 96 meters. So here's the exact answers. Okay, sorry about that. And then for 6.5 meters, it would give me 208 meters. So times negative 32 would give me 208 meters. All right. So my about answers is using the graph, but my circle answers is me like doing the math itself, and this is the exact answers. Okay, guys? So if you have any questions about this problem, guys, make sure you refer to your manager's Google Meet session. I probably 9 times out of 10 graphed it. Oh, I see what I did wrong just that fast. I did graph the first point wrong. I should have put it way up here. That's why I had some issues right here. Okay. So, needless to say, guys, if you had any issues with this question, please refer to your manager's Google Meet session, and I'll see you guys in the last and final question of this lesson.